Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I welcome you to another episode of this program, Islam is Beautiful. My name is Salma Aditutu Lawal. Thank you for joining us.
Fortunate is he. Fortunate.
This program is sponsored in memory of Ajiya Fauziya Kende Lola Ali. May Allah grant her Al-Jannah Firdaus. Amen.
His thoughts of Allah and Judgment Day.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Quran 2 verse 183 says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykum siyam kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Fasting has been prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may attain piety. On the program today, we shall be discussing the topic preparing for Ramadan. We all know that Ramadan is in a few time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. Ameen. And to do this chit-chatting with me, I have Sister Ghania.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sister Miriam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And my special guest for today, Sister Khadija.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I welcome you all.
Thank you.
Now, fasting is a pillar of Islam, and every Muslim is expected to fast in the month of Ramadan. Now, we all know that this is a psychological process that needs a lot of preparation. Now, what are the things that we're supposed to do to prepare? That is what we're going to discuss today. Now, my sisters, if we say Ramadan first, let's start from the basic. What do we mean? Samira.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Simply put, Ramadan means fasting, as you have said earlier. Ramadan is a period of the calendar of Muslims where we are expected to fast, we are expected to abstain from eating, drinking, and all forms of sexual activities. It is like a period where we expect to be in total submission to the will of Allah. We are expected to serve Him with all our might.
Alhamdulillah. That was explanatory. And now, so when we say preparing for Ramadan, what do we mean, Sister Khadija?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Since Ramadan, as we said, it's a period of totally devoting ourselves to Almighty Allah and being such a special month when the Holy Quran was revealed to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I think we should give it our all as being prepared emotionally, physically, financially, and psychologically. By emotional preparation, we're just trying to say that we should try to put every other thing on our mind aside and put it before Almighty Allah, because it's the only one who can resolve whatever it is we have on our minds. And secondly, financially, we do not necessarily have to have so much put aside, but we should take each day as it comes. Make sure we make our family comfortable, we make our friends, those the needy, provide for them as best as we can. Thank you very much.
All right. And Sister Ghania, well, how would you prepare for Ramadan as a student?
Alhamdulillah. To prepare for Ramadan as a student, well, I think first and foremost, you should try by actually reading. By that, I mean going through the books of hadiths and know how the Prophet prepared for Ramadan. Because in one of the hadiths was stated that on the last day of Shaban, Prophet gathered his companions and educated them about the forthcoming Ramadan. So that information, that knowledge is needed to actually prepare for Ramadan.
Alhamdulillah. Now, if you say preparation is financially, psychologically, physically, how can we physically prepare for Ramadan? Miriam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Inshallah. When we say we want to prepare for Ramadan physically, we mean that we are ready to put everything that it takes to make Ramadan work out. Now, I might be losing some, probably like yourself being chubby, like yourself being fat or something. So when you prepare yourself physically, be like, wow, I want to lose some of this weight, I want to let go of them, and I'm ready to face whatever outcome that comes about by the end of Ramadan. That is what I think it's about.
Now, what are the ways you think we can prepare for it?
Well, mashallah, some of the ways I believe that we can prepare for Ramadan is, firstly, by making dua. We should try and create a situation, we should try and create a relationship between ourselves and Almighty Allah. We should supplicate from now on as if Allah is watching us do it. We can also prepare for Ramadan by reading the Quran. We all know, as my sister said earlier, she explained the fact that Ramadan is the month of the Quran. It was when the Quran was revealed to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So when we read the Quran by now, we would be able to read during Ramadan. Because someone that hasn't been reading the Quran might find it very difficult to go ahead and read during the Ramadan. So I believe that what we should do right now is blow up the dust of our Quran, start by reading it, and we should try and create realistic targets. Ramadan is a month of giving, month of sharing, month of getting more than enough reward from Allah if we do it accordingly. Someone that doesn't give on a normal ground will find it very difficult to do that during Ramadan. So I believe we should start by giving out now. We should start by supplicating Almighty Allah to make it easy for us, and we should start by reading the Quran.
And what about making up for the missed fast of last year? Don't you think preparing for this year's Ramadan, part of it is also to have made up for the ones we have missed, inshallah? Sister Khadija?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, that is very important. And this time, if you've not made up for the fast you've missed in the last year, you are so close to Ramadan now, that's almost, will be almost impossible, in my opinion, to make it up now. But inshallah, by the time we start this year and complete Ramadan, inshallah, then one could now make the ones you've as soon as possible, as soon as Ramadan is over.
So you can made up immediately after Ramadan.
It's imperative. Inshallah, if possible. Yes, try as much as possible.
In your opinion, as a young Muslim, what would you say is the best way to make up for Ramadan immediately after?
Okay, alhamdulillah. So making up for mixed fast immediately after Ramadan is the best thing one can do, because at that time the body is acclimatized with the fasting. Like, it's still much in you. So immediately after the Eid, it's just the best to commence that immediately, because as a time, even there's a way you are distant from food or normal things you see, so you are already distant from it. So if you make it up by that time, it's going to be very much better for you than any other time.
And then it will not make you forget, because for anybody who hasn't made it up by now, just about 2 days to Ramadan, then the person may not be able to. May Allah forgive us sins. Now, how do you think forgiveness, seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, can help me psychologically prepare for Ramadan?
Since Ramadan is a time of purging yourself of sins, asking Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. We have a number of prayers. One of them is the one our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave to us, Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. We should try as much as possible to soak ourselves in this. Keep praying, reciting it as many times as we can. Almighty Allah is ready to forgive us our sins. So we should, as much as possible, spend our time now being penitent, asking Him to forgive us our sins, because there's really nobody that is without sins. And the beauty of Islam is that Almighty Allah, one of His names is Al-Ghafar. He forgives as many times as possible. Spend your time with Allah. Try as many times as possible to make voluntary nafilas, and during the night do your tahajjud, and as much as possible ask Allah to forgive your sins, and inshallah Almighty Allah will forgive your sins.
Allah is all forgiving.
We all know that asking for forgiveness purges of all sins. So we feel light, we feel fulfilled, we feel like we have a special relationship with Allah. We have this courage, we have this boldness to move out to Allah and ask Him for anything. So I believe that when we ask for forgiveness before Ramadan, we have the full satisfaction, we have the belief that we can go to Allah. Since it is the time we can ask for things that we want, then there's this thing about in Islam. It is believed that if you have the intention of waking up for tahajjud and you can't do it, then you're pinned down by your sins. But asking for forgiveness, sincere repentance, for now, will ease you of that burden, and you'll be able to freely wake up and move to your Creator.
May Allah make it easy for us. Now, as a mother, in what ways can we encourage children in the month of Ramadan?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Since our children, depending on the age bracket, should be encouraged to fast, maybe you tell them to start from early dawn till maybe 12 o'clock initially, depending on their ages, and you try as much as possible to prepare some delicacies that will attract children that will make them want to. Because I remember when we were young, you look forward to the dishes at the end of the day. You can have whatever you want on the table because you fasted throughout the day. And you now let the children know the implication of Ramadan itself. It's a time of putting whatever you want before Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all your prayers will be answered. Inshallah.
Now, as a young Muslim man, Miriam, if you have a situation on your hands, you have a job that's so demanding, you can't read the Quran in the month of Ramadan, what would you advise?
Well, mashallah, if as a Muslim man now, I have a job at my hand that is very demanding, and at the same time I want to maximize the reward during the month, instead of reading the Quran, since I won't be able to do that at that point, I can listen to the Quran. Doesn't have to be me holding the Quran about every time, because since I won't be allowed, not even, I won't be chanced either. I won't be chanced to do that. I can always listen to it by doing my job, and it's not affected. It's not about planning it, making, like you're reaching a compromise. You have to balance both the job and your deen. It's as simple as that.
Now, what would you have to that as a student who wants to maximize all?
As a student, preferably, since Ramadan is starting in a few days' time, it's supposed to be that a student should have covered whatever he or she has been taught from the beginning of a semester to the few days to Ramadan, so that you know that that part of your academics, you are fully conversant with it. So that in the month of Ramadan, you could actually freeze a bit so that you do more of the religious activities and probably lesser of the academic work, so that immediately after Ramadan, you could actually go back to your schedule. And by working on that plan, inshallah, it will always be achievable and everything will go out fine, inshallah.
Inshallah. Now, for mothers who think that the major reward in this month of Ramadan is to cook for the family, because I know a lot of women do that, to cook, just be in the kitchen. Is it advisable to just spend all the time, even if it is the husband of the home who wants it that way? Is it advisable to spend all the time cooking, even though get a reward for it?
As much as our duty as mothers is to make sure we provide meals at home, this month of Ramadan is a very important period of our lives, and we should all make the best use of it. A mother that knows she'll close at maybe 6 o'clock usually should know now that she has to take time off, maybe get home for 4 o'clock to get enough time to prepare for the home. And it is important to make time, juggle your time enough so that you can make enough time to say your prayers, because whatever you put forward before Almighty Allah, it's all yours on the day of Judgment. So you, as much as possible, you try to make time to offer your prayers while whatever it is you're doing, you limit it, and God help us have a good spouse that will know that all your time is not supposed to be spent in the kitchen. So you take time off to do your nafilas too, you say your prayers, and it's very crucial that the last 10 days is for prayers, that the night of 1,000 nights, everybody tries to look out for. You don't indulge in maybe being lazy, or you decide that I'm cooking, so why should I bother myself about saying my prayers? You try to make the best use of that and
the rewards
and earn all the rewards, inshallah.
Now, we all do social media things. We know we spend a lot of time on this. May Allah help us and save us from the disaster that come by it. Now, how do you think we can do this now in the month of Ramadan? Do you think that we should spend time doing things that are Islamic, or leave it altogether?
No, alhamdulillah. Of course, we should actually spend lesser time doing it. I won't say spend no time, because it's already part of us to socialize,
that
to use
be realistic now.
But to spend lesser time, and that has to begin from this point, because you can't actually be procrastinating. You need to stop it in Ramadan. You have to actually have stopped it, or actually spend lesser time doing it to actually prepare yourself for Ramadan. And if you're going to be doing it, then you're actually doing more of spiritual things, such as talking to fellow brothers and sisters and asking them about whatever they have put in place for Ramadan, and if they actually have paid their missed fasting, and they'll be looking forward to, or where would they be having their itikaf and all of that. That's if you want to do it. But the idea of doing some other things like watching things on YouTube, and all of that should be stopped for Ramadan. Because by the time you do those things, it actually diminish your reward for Ramadan, because fasting is beyond the hunger. You actually fast with all part of your body. Eyes must actually be restrained from looking at things that are haram. Your ears don't listen to what is forbidden, and all of that actually make up the whole Ramadan. So not just abstaining from food, and that will be actually possible if you actually limit your time on socializing, both using the internet or socializing in the real form of it.
Well, in what she said, I think all this comes with preparing for Ramadan, preparing ahead for it.
Okay.
Someone like me uses more time surfing the net than doing other things. And for this forthcoming Ramadan, I have the plan of stopping my subscription for them. So that's like an advice for the addicts. If you don't have sub, I don't think you really want to go use your cash to surf the net. I can always maximize that time to read the Quran, read the Hadith, or do something meaningful. So I believe it's a mindset. It's you having a mindset that during this Ramadan, I'm going to maximize the promise. I'm going to get all the reward therein. I'm going to stop surfing the net. Although it might not be easy at a point, because there are times that we get really, really hungry in quotes during Ramadan. At times we feel like, can't I do any other thing to while away the time? Can't I do anything to keep myself busy? But instead of doing that, even if we cannot read the Quran at that point, we can do other things that are Islamic. We can read the book. But there should be books that would add to our knowledge, that will improve us, not do the otherwise.
Now they say it is not advisable to be inactive in the noon of Ramadan, to be inactive all day, and like sleep all day and then decide to wake up all night. That's not advisable. What would be your take on that?
Yeah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Since, as my sister said earlier, that in Surah Al-Baqarah, the Almighty Allah told us that He has prescribed fasting for us as He did for those before us, so that we can learn and so that we can ward off evil. This period is not a time to indulge in sleeping all day, and when it's now time to break your fast, you wake up, and during the night you now spend the time playing. No, it's a time that you spend the day, either you recite your Quran as many times as you can. You should have a resolve for this month that I want to recite my Quran maybe 2 times, even if you complete the whole Quran once, it is to your own benefit. So as much as possible, we should encourage ourselves to get all the benefits in this beautiful month.
May Allah make it easy for us. Not like we do not wish to do these things, but I realize that we do not wait Shaitan off enough, because nobody wants to do. If we are left not to do anything, I'm sure we'd all like it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. We take a short break to recommend to you an Islamic literature that can give your understanding of this particular discourse. Bismillah.
On this episode, we will be recommending to you this beautiful 264-page book titled The Pillars of Islam and Iman, written by Sheikh Muhammad bin Jamil Zeno. The book distinguishes the difference between the pillars of Islam and the articles of faith. It explains the meaning of every pillar chronologically, emphasizes the benefits of every word in the articles of faith, and what every Muslim must know about the religion of Islam. It is so deep and easy to understand because of the simple style and authentic sources that the author used. Take this book today and give your mind some value-adding duty. Remember, readers are leaders.
Oh Allah the Almighty, Allahu Allah, protect me and guide me, Allahu Allah, oh to your love and mercy, Allahu Allah, Ya Allah don't deprive me, Allahu Allah, from beholding your beauty, Allahu Allah, oh my Lord accept this plea, Allahu Allah. ربي جل الله 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 ما في قلبي غير الله 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 شبا کنه الله الله مهر بابا کنه الله الله کیا اوچی شانه الله الله اسکی سب نشانه الله الله سب دلوں کی جان ہے اللہ اللہ Fortunate is he.
This program is sponsored in memory of Ajiya Fauziya Kende Lola Hali. May Allah grant her Al-Jannah Firdaus. Ameen.
His thoughts of Allah and Judgment Day.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, you're welcome back. We now show you our question for the week. Bismillah. These facts are given to you because we think you should have them at your fingertips. Bismillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. My sisters and I have been able to tell you some of the things that we think you should do to prepare for Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. We all know that, yes, everyone knows that we're fasting, but we know within ourselves if we truly are fasting. Now, my sisters, one advice I would like you to give all mothers, Sister Khadija, I want you to give all Muslims out there who are not married yet, who don't have commitments of children, husband, and I would want you to give Sister Gania, I want you to give all the students out there one advice.
My advice to mothers especially is that they should try to manage their time as best as they can. They should make sure they get home on time, make the best of whatever is available, make light meals, and encourage the children not to swallow their food hurriedly, because by the time you break your fast, the children will be so hungry that they want to eat so much in everything. They want to rush it. So we should try to encourage them to take it a little bit of time and try as much as possible make several dishes, so that make them light, so that after we've said our prayers, we can now sit down again and have something with the family and basically spend a lot of time reciting the Quran to the children, explaining it both in Arabic, English, and our own mother tongue, Yoruba, so that they can instill it in the children's hearts, and that will be with them forever. Inshallah.
Well, mashallah, the most simple about ideas I think I can give right now is that you should strike a balance between your job and your deen. Okay. Try and make sure your work doesn't affect your religion in a way that you'll be able to maximize the promise in the forthcoming Ramadan. At the same time, you won't be found wanting at your job.
Alhamdulillah. Now, as a student, we all know that being a student is beyond a status, it's a state of mind that we're ready to learn a lot, being a student. And because of that, all Muslim students, both brothers and sisters, should actually period of time to actually improve their knowledge of the deen by actually reading the Quran, reading up literature texts about concepts in Islam, as my staff rightly said, and also by actually supplicating to Allah, because our academic pursuits is non-accomplishable without Allah's barakah and rahmah. We'll use that period of time to actually pray to Allah to make our affairs easy. So may Allah make it easy for us.
Ameen. Jazakallah khairan. I would advise every Muslim out there to know that we only have one thing, and if we say we are Muslims, we should remember that the only thing we have is this deen, and we must do everything to make it impact in our life. And like I always say every time, it is only when you know that you can know how to serve Allah. If you do not know Him, you won't know how to serve Allah. And I also say it on this program every time, do not tell people that you are a Muslim. Show them, let it reflect in you, let it just be all around you. are a Muslim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. I wish everyone Ramadan Kareem, and from every one of us here, I thank the sponsors, the crew, and everyone who has made this program possible today. And for my sisters and I here, we say
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Fortunate is he. Fortunate.
This program is sponsored in memory of Ajiya Fauziya Kende Lola Hali. May Allah grant her Alijan of Fidaus. Amen.
His thoughts of Allah and Judgment Day.